Good morning. My name is Katrina Misra, and as of April 18th, 2022, I'll be speaking with my voice to the world of education for my own body. If we went back 100 years, this would be nothing but a fantasy to women all across America. My research question is, since 1860, to what extent have Christian values influenced the United States government in cases involving women's rights? The three major points we'll be touching on today are women's voting rights, healthcare, and bodily autonomy. This picture is by Norman Rockwell called The Holdout. As you can see, all the men in this room are trying to convince this one woman to conform to their ideas. This woman is holding perfect posture because she does not believe what they have to say is true. They're in a jury room and they are thinking, this woman needs to conform to what we think so we can get out of here. Conformity has been an issue for all of society, for all of time, and is the reason why we have societal expectations and rules. One example of a place in America where conformity is very prominent is the South, also known as the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt is seen as the more conservative states due to their strong ties to committed Protestantism. This area has a large influence on politics, seeing how large of an area it takes up on the map. Moving to the second map, the orange represents the women who gained voting rights with the passage of the 19th Amendment. Meaning, unlike other states or other regions, women had no say in government before it was federally required. Consequently, the purple matches up almost seamlessly to the orange in the second map, meaning that in the same area that would not allow women to vote until it was federally required by the government. Now, what women had to do to be able to earn the right to vote, they had to demote themselves before being able to promote themselves by saying that how can a woman do her job if she's unable to vote or participate in government? Saying things like, she can cook her food well, but if dealers are permitted to sell poor food, unclean milk, or sell eggs, she cannot make the food wholesome for her children. Women need to be able to vote on issues like this in the government so they're able to do their job properly. Giving them the right to vote will allow them to do so. Now, what is the contraception mandate? The contraception mandate is an act started by Barack Obama, which entails a company being made to pay for women's contraception needs. This blew up in the media, and there were protesters saying God's law comes first, repeal socialist Obamacare, thus bringing religious beliefs into politics. One example of such would be when a Christian company, Hobby Lobby, did not believe in birth control and did not want to pay for something that they did not believe in, resulting in Burwell versus Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby won the case in the Supreme Court. Looking at this graphic, the blue represents the women who believe that the contraception mandate should apply for for-profit companies whose owners object. Now, the majority of women agreed that companies should pay for birth control, which is who this primarily affects, and believes that this is important. Unlike the majority of conservative, white, evangelical, Protestant, Republican women did not believe that this was true. In the Bible, pregnancy is seen as a blessing from God and should not be taken away, whether it be a preventional method or termination of the pregnancy altogether. One example of someone with such beliefs is leader Earl W. Bridges, who spoke in 1970 on the New York Senate floor on the topic of abortion. He was speaking out against abortions taking place. He quotes a Christian book named The Diary of an Unborn Child, which is in the perspective of the unborn child, and it begins at conception, October 5th. Today my life began. I am as small as the seed of an apple, but I already am, and I am a girl. I shall have blonde hair and blue eyes. And as time went on, the fetus began to keep developing and in the womb, and by the end of it, on December 24th, what is happening? I hear a noise. I feel something sharp. It hurts me. No, Mommy, no. I'll be good for you. Please love me, Mommy. Things are black, and the pain is gone now. December 28th. Today, my mother killed me. The point of this book being quoted was to rid abortion for all, including all the women who needed it for various reasons. Leader Earl W. Bridges brought a religious-centered book and quoted it in front of the United States and presented it in front of the United States government, thus pushing his religious agenda on everyone in New York. In 1973, Roe v. Wade was a case between Norma McCorvey and Henry Wade. Norma McCorvey, or Jane Roe, sought to have an abortion with her third child in 1969, but Roe was unable to do so in Texas, where she lived, because it was illegal. Henry Wade was a district attorney who was tasked to oppose the case to legalize abortion. This case began when Roe did not want to have the baby and took it to court. The state decided against complete autonomy for abortions. However, they did decide that the first trimester they were unable to, the government was unable to regulate or impose on any sort of decisions with abortion, versus the second and third trimester where they're able to put in place regulations or prohibit abortion altogether. Going back to the first graphic, the purple represents the Bible Belt. The purple represents the Bible Belt, showing the same area that applies to the states that would ban abortion if Roe v. Wade was overturned. Again, these flow together almost seamlessly. In the South, where the majority of citizens share the same Christian and conservative beliefs, religion is used to push Christian views into government. Finally, the limitations and solutions. The limitations in this argument show that the government will never not be influenced by religious beliefs because of how much it shapes our everyday decisions and morals. A possible solution to this would be defining a line between laws and decisions that are driven by religious groups. These are my works cited pages. Thank you. Any questions?
I do have two questions for you. First up, what evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and then why didn't you use it?
So I had a case for Mueller versus Oregon, which is women's working rights in 1908. I decided against using it because there wasn't very good graphics that would fit into the slideshow, and it made the presentation go over 10 minutes, so I decided to cut it out.
Okay, and if you had more time, what additional research would you conduct on this issue?
I would go into who voted against Roe v. Wade and who didn't, so then I can be able to compare, because there was one person, I believe his name was Byron White, and he had religious beliefs and that ended up influencing his decision on Roe v. Wade. So I think I would also go into the other guy who voted against it